Welcome to the plot, and don't the tulips look lovely in this small little bed here. The daffodils have just gone over. Well, I've been hard at work over the last month. As you can see, it's all starting to fill out a little bit. We'll go over here to start with. In this bed here I've got quite a few broad beans. That's my main crop there, and then my first batch I've also put over there in the cages, and the garlic's doing pretty well. My main job over the last month, as you can see, is to get my tiller down here and turn over all the beds. So I've done that one, and this one. I've done that one over there that I've managed to plant out into, and the two down there as well. So I'm really pleased with that. It makes me feel like I'm getting on top of the jobs. Talking of planting out stuff, I've got some cauliflower here. That will be going in bed 8 in the corner over there. Whilst I was clearing the beds, I still had a few leeks, so I replanted those there, and hopefully they'll grow on. If they don't, it doesn't really matter. Asparagus wise, very slow. Even the growers up in Evesham are finding that they're not growing that fast. We've had a few cuttings off of those. In here I've put my first batch of kohlrabi. They're looking pretty good, and also my cabbages. I was really pleased with those. They're coming along really nicely. I've put on a butterfly net. The first year that we had the plot, we spent most of the summer picking off caterpillars from the cabbages, so I invested in some butterfly net, and I suggest you did as well. My first early potatoes just starting to come up after all the waterlogged bed. They're looking pretty good actually. And over here, I don't know if you can see, but perhaps you go down, might be able to see a little bit better. This bed's full of onions. They've all sprouted. That's really great. The rhubarb, the early variety of rhubarb, is over now. We'll just feed that. But the rhubarb over in the corner there is a later variety, and we've been picking off there. Talking to the fruit cage, let's go inside. It's really nice to still have the net on. As you can see, we've got some gooseberries coming there. There's quite a few there. Over the years they've suddenly disappeared for no reason at all, so I'm wondering if the net will help. We've also got quite a few red currants coming there, as you can see. What else we got? This is also a gooseberry put in a couple of years ago. It's not looking too bad. I don't think it'll fruit. Got some black currants here, and they're all looking pretty good as well. In fact, there's some little ones there. That's good. So there's the rhubarb, and the strawberries. They're all flowering really well, and hopefully with a net on top of the fruit cage we'll be getting some decent strawberries this year. That's a blackcurrant there as well. That's a little slower than the others. Right, what else we got to show you? Let's shut the gate. Right, so we go down to the bottom of the plot. It's another bed I turned over with a rotavator. Ground's really dried out. This bed here We'll go down low again, is full of onions. Grown some for the children this year. That's good. And this is my second early potatoes. They've started to come up. They're not massive, but they're on their way. There's one over there. And we'll go look over the fence. So that's second early potatoes I've put in that bed there. I need to get in there and do a weeding job. Because it was so wet, I only used my tiller to make the trenches for the potatoes. Turn this bed over here, which is good. And as I say, that's a batch of broad beans there. And that's the last bed. So it's all looking really tidy now. Perhaps we'll go down into the bottom of plot 15 now. Haven't been down here for a little while, I don't think. There we go. It's still looking reasonable. Oh, I didn't see these the other day when I looked. I put 3 rows of potatoes in down here. The second earlies, I had some left over, so I put in 3 rows there. Well, the forget-me-nots are looking pretty nice. Oh, I've got a jet going over. Might be able to catch it. I did have a row of tulips along here, but they all got nibbled by something. I'm not sure if it's a deer or something like that. Turned over this bed here, so that'll be ready for planting out. May do French beans in that one. This one here needs a bit of a weed, as you can see. Got some nice flowers there, forget-me-nots and crow crosmia coming up. And there's some nice aquilegia, I think they're called. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Slow tree and the nursery bed that needs a bit of a tidy. I'm going to start using these beds down here and putting in crops that don't need much tending. As I said, I've got some cauliflower to go out, but I'm going to leave that for a couple of days. But today I really need to get on and put in my sweet corn, so I'll show you how I do that. I like to chit my sweet corn, so 4 days ago I put them in this container between 2 pieces of wet tissue, and then they sprout, as you can see here. They've sprouted quite well. That's a little root coming out of here. So what I do is put them in the compost when they've sprouted. So I've got here a pot, 3-inch pot, and I filled it up about 1 inch short of the rim, and then I lay that on top there, and then I cover them with compost. Just lightly cover them, and then I just tamp them down a little bit, and then I soak them in the water. So that goes into the water, and then I leave it in the water until the compost on the top is wet. So it looks like I've got quite a few there to sow. Luckily I've prepped a load of pots already, so let's get on with it. There's just 2 seeds that haven't sprouted, so I'm not sure if they're viable, but I'll plant them anyway. And there is 5 rows of sweet corn, totaling 27 that I know that are going to turn into plants. While we're in the greenhouse, might as well show you around and see what else I've been up to. I managed to get my butternut squash in. I'm growing 2 varieties this year, a butternut squash, 6 of those, and Crown Prince. We quite like those, so we're having those. I've sown some more tomatoes, some Moneymaker, and the other tomatoes over here, they're doing pretty well. What else we got? The cabbages are coming along nicely. I've actually planted some out, you've probably seen those. And second batches of cauliflower and kohlrabi. A batch of radish that will grow in here. At the back we've got quite a few French beans coming along. Planted those, and some broad beans. This is my final batch. I do batches of about 18 every 15 days, and then they'll grow on, and some leeks there. That's all there is in the greenhouse. No, that wasn't quite right. There's two other things that I have to show you as well. I've put in some basil that I use as a companion plant to the tomatoes in here to stop the green fly. And over here I've sown some celery. It's under the glass to keep it nice and warm. The other thing I'd like to show you is the blossom on the apple tree. It's absolutely covered. The blossom is a lovely pinky reddy colour when it first emerges, and then it changes to a lovely white with pink tinges. Beautiful, really beautiful. Hopefully we'll get lots of apples off that this year. The other thing I noticed down here is that we didn't have much luck with plums last year, and I wondered if that might be the same this year as well. I did notice that we've got a few little plums coming along, so hopefully it'll be better this year. I hope you've found that interesting. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.